Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, December 17th, 2019, and we again find ourselves in the final hour of the trading day. I mention this each day, but I believe that the most valid prices to make your buying and selling decisions from are right at the end of the market, right before the market closes. During the day, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders battling it out. I consider that price action a lot of noise. At the end of the day, particularly in the last few minutes, the market makers, the large financial institutions come into the market, make their plays at the day. They're the most well equipped. They have the best knowledge, and in my opinion, those prices from the large financial institutions coming in, moving the prices to where they feel like it's the most valid prices of the day, are the prices that I like to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions from. Plus, it frees up your day. You don't have to look at the charts all day long. I used to trade intraday and so forth, and it's just so much more. It's just so much easier to base your trades at the end of the day. Sometimes you miss out on moves in the middle of the day, but all in all, I just think it's the best way to go, and that's why I make the majority of my buying and selling decisions right there last few minutes. So anyway, we're having a good day today. The Dow Jones is up 56 points. It's up 0.5%. NASDAQ's up about 9 points, up about 0.1%, and the S&P is up a couple points. So pretty flat right now as it is, but fortunately, I'm having a good day on this end, so I'm very grateful for that. So hey Evan, what's going on? Good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming by. Always nice to have you. Hoping you're having a good day there in Los Angeles. Hey JT, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Always nice to have you here, JT. And anything I can help you with today, please let me know. All right. Well, so the plan for today, as usual, first of all, we're going to go ahead and run the U.S. legal disclaimer. I'm going to come back. We're going to go through all my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and how I'm going to manage them going forward. After that, we're going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. In my opinion, being able to follow your plan is the most important skill that you have to develop. Putting together a plan is important. Learning about support and resistance, technicals and entries, exits, of course that's important, but really in the big picture and at the end of the day, if you can put together a plan but you can't follow that plan, that's where you need to spend some time and work on yourself. It is a skill to be able to follow your plan, and most people just think about the technicals, entries, exits, all that kind of stuff, but they don't really follow their plan. So, it all comes down to emotions, keeping your emotions in check. If your emotions are in check, if they're stable, you have a much better chance of being able to follow your plan. If your emotions are all over the place because of the swings in your profit and loss, then you're probably not going to follow your plan. You're going to probably just trade your profit and loss and not really follow your process. So it's important to follow your process. It's important to follow your plan. Think about that as a skill that you need to work on, that you need to develop. And in my opinion, the best way to do that is with proper position sizing. Not too large to where it starts amplifying all your emotions and gets you off track and gets you away from following your plan. So we'll spend a few minutes on that. After that, we're going to go through my watch list. We're going to go through each stock one by one. We're going to look at support, resistance levels. We're going to look at indicators like MACD and RSI and moving averages and ATR channels. And the way that I view trading is that I look at each of these indicators as a potential group of buyers. And if you want to have a stock that goes up, if you want to have a profitable trade, the odds go up much higher with as many buyers coming in at the same time as you. So I like to look for a confluence or a combination of indicators. So I mean, if MACD crossing over represents a group of buyers, and if a bounce off the 200-day moving average represents a group of buyers, and there's some kind of RSI reading in there that represents a group of buyers, then I look at that as a combination or a confluence of indicators, or another way to say it is a combination or a confluence of buyers. So again, you're going to have a better chance to make money in a trade if you're with as many buyers as possible. That's why I like to look for a confluence of indicators, or how I look at it, a confluence of buyers. So that is step one. Then step two, make sure you have a good risk to reward ratio. Sometimes you can get a good confluence of indicators or groups of buyers, but as far as the RSI reading or how far it is in the channel, it may not offer you a good risk to reward. It's important to have, in my opinion at least, to have at least a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So that's step two. And then step three is, if you have a nice setup, you have a confluence of buyers, you have good risk to reward, then you also have to take into consideration, let's say that was a tech stock. You have to also take into consideration, hey, I already have 3 tech stocks. Do I really want to add another tech stock to this? You may have to let one go and take the new one, or just not take the new one. So I think it's important to, have diversified holdings, different industries, and maybe even outside of the equity markets, like gold or bonds, silver, oil, something like that. So it's important to be diversified. So 3 steps. 1, look for a confluence of signals, look for a confluence of indicators. Step 2, make sure you have a good risk to reward ratio. And then step 3, make sure you do not have too many highly correlated positions in your portfolio. All right, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go down through each stock, look for the confluence of indicators. On my first pass through, I'll mark what looks good. At the end of the day, I'll go through it with a fine-tooth comb, consider correlation, things like that. We'll look at risk to reward. But if I find something that looks good, fits my criteria, at the end of the day, I'll go ahead and take that position near the close of the market. And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, don't be shy. Please just type them into the chat. I'm very happy to clarify anything I've discussed today. If you have any other questions about something we didn't talk about today, I'm happy to do my best to answer the question for you. If there are any particular stocks you would like me to take a look at, I'm very happy to give you my humble opinion. And if there are any particular stocks that you think would be helpful, that you've seen, that you think look good and think would be helpful for the group, and you'd like me to take a look at those before the market closes, please type them in the chat, maybe put an asterisk or something by it so I know that it's time sensitive. So, all right, sound like a plan? All right, hey, Frank is here. Good to see you, Frank. Appreciate you coming. And Christopher Hitchin, hello. Good evening in the UK there, Christopher. I hope you're doing well and hope you had a good day. So, all right, well, that is the plan for today. So if you can hang tight, I'm going to run that U.S. legal disclaimer, and I'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks a lot.
This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much.
All right. Frank says, hello, Greg and all. I practice what I preach and was stopped out of FLT at 306 after a nasty pullback. Purchase price 304.72. Yeah, I was looking at that today, Frank, and I was thinking about you. I know you bought it here at, I have 304.80, but 304.72, so even better. This was a nice V2 here when Frank bought this. Did move up nicely yesterday. Don't know if you took any profits or not, but today it has moved back down, and it is a nasty pullback. So that's how it goes. I don't know if you ended up making money on it or losing money on it, but I imagine if you did lose money, it was a small amount, and perhaps you made some money if you phased out up here. I'm not sure, but that's the key to successful trading, guys. Following your plan. And, having big wins, small wins, break-even wins, or small losses, any of those are fine, right? And if this was a small loss for Frank, then that is fine. that is fine. That fits into the equation, right? So anyway, thanks for pointing that out, Frank. Sorry that didn't go your way. It was looking pretty nice here, wasn't it? And then today we had a big reversal bar. But I'm glad you practice what you preach, and that's what makes Frank a good trader, right, Frank? Evan, hey, good to see you, Evan. Got my eye on AAP and DA this afternoon. Let's take a look. Yeah, well, this offers a good risk to reward. I mean, here we have a higher low V2. It looks like it's currently above the 200-day, which is important. If I took this trade, I probably wouldn't use a stop all the way back down here. I'd probably use a stop with close under the 200-day just to give me a tightest stop as possible. MACD is positive, and we have a higher low V2 here, and looks like we have dividend in a couple days. So let me know if you end up taking that, Evan, and I will put that on the list. What am I doing? Oh, AAP. All right, and then DE. So this would be considered a higher low V1 here today. I think me personally, I wouldn't take this because it's so high. It's actually above the 1 ATR channel. My preference is not to take a long position higher than about 3/4 between here and here. So right up about here would be my max. This would be a little overextended, but let me know what happens there. Small gain. Good. Good. Glad to hear that, Frank. Hey, Gamer Squad, good to see you, bud. Nice. I appreciate you coming, and hope everything's going well in Denver. And that's David. Thanks again, David. Hey, Steve Burns, how you doing? Thanks for coming, Steve. Always a pleasure to have you. Always an honor to have you here. I'm always excited, and I know everyone else is, and it's exciting. It's a big thing to have you in our chat. So thank you so much. Steve says, hi, Greg and everyone. Another great day for the Bulls. Yep, I have been tracking Steve's trades today, and he has had a fantastic day. Look at Beyond Meat, up 3.42% today. That is fantastic. Steve also has Goldman Sachs up 1.51%, and I believe KMX, right, Steve? CarMax up 0.84. So Steve having a nice day today. Congratulations, Steve. Looking forward to your video newsletter tonight. I always watch that. And all right, so let's take a look. Clarence Beeks, what's going on? Good to see you, Jesse. You know, by the way, Jess, I watched Trading Places the other night. I had a call with Anthony, and we were talking about that movie, and Anthony was a broker on the floor there in New York, and he was there when they were filming the trading sequences in the movie. So he said, oh yeah, I knew all those guys. I watched the movie. I'm like, I know this guy, I know that guy. So between me talking about the movie with Jesse and also talking about it with Anthony, I decided to watch it, and that movie holds up. It's a good show. It was really great. Thanks for coming, Jess. Joshua, hey, what's going on? Hi, Greg and all. Beyond Meat had a nice day. Yes, it did. It has a very, I got out a couple days ago, but I may re-enter today. So I'm going to have to I'll have to break it down here and make sure it has a good risk to reward with an entry at this point. But good to see you, Joshua. Frank says, I heard a fascinating trader quote today. Earn with your mind, not with your time. Wow, that is good. I've never heard that one. Earn with your mind, not with your time. That is good. That is good. Steve says, yep, KMX and gold. Oh yeah, gold. I forgot you have gold too. And Goldman Sachs, I believe, right? Man Solo, hey Greg and folks. Hey Man Solo, good to see you, bud. Steve says, Amazon on my watch list over the 250. Yes, I saw that as well. So we're going to be talking about that for sure. Marco, hey, good to see you, sir. Hope you're having a good evening in Europe, and I appreciate you coming as always. Marco says, hi, Greg and Steve and all. Turtle Trading Places was loosely based on the Turtle Traders. I know that, Steve. That's actually why it came up in conversation when I had a call with Jesse. I explained to him why it was based upon the Turtle Traders, and that, you know, I think it was, who was it now? Eckhart and Dennis somebody. But they're very, very wealthy traders. One of them thought that people could not learn how to trade. It was innate. The other one thought that no, anyone could teach them. And that's how they came up with the Turtle Traders. They ran an ad in the paper. They brought in people that were not involved in trading, and they taught them how to trade. They make a ton of money. And yes, that is how Trading Places was loosely based upon that movie. Marco says, I love the Amazon idea. Me too. Well, it's a good valid signal, right? Doesn't mean it's going to make money, but it is, long term, it is a good valid signal with the break over and close over the 250. Bing He, good to see you, sir. Thank you for coming. Hoping you're having a good day in Singapore. Steve says Richard Dennis. That's right. That's right. He's a market wizard. So that was fun to watch that. That was fun to watch that movie. All right. Well, let's get cooking here. All right. So gold. I did buy gold back on the 13th of December. I bought it when we had the 520 EMA crossover. This is a good back-tested, long-term, profitable approach to trading gold. I think this was my third entry or fourth entry when I took the 520 crossover. The last few did not work out. They immediately dumped on me. You can see I did it here too. Bump. So anyway, I'm feeling pretty good about this trade. Very slightly down by about 11 or 12 cents. But it's holding, which, is good, right? It's good that it didn't just trigger and immediately fall back down. So anyway, bought this with the 5 crossing over the 20. My stop will be if we have a close below both the 5 and the 20, or if it moves to the upside, I will continue to phase out and just phase out using my phasing out approach until we get up to the 70 RSI. If we reject the 70 RSI, I will take my profits. If it closes over the 70 RSI, I'll stick with it and continue to phase out until it closes back under. So again, if we close both on a closing basis, both the 5 below the 5 and the 20, that's my initial stop. To the upside, a rejection of the 70 RSI, that will be my profit target. So very, very slightly down on the trade, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. All right, Philip Morris. I did buy Philip Morris back here on the 5th of December. I bought it a pullback to value, meaning that the price was above the 1 ATR channel. I consider anything above the 1 ATR channel above value. I needed it to pull back into value. It did come back into value here in between the two green lines. Then I need some sideways movement to show that there's some support and to build a little bit of a base. That happened. Then all I needed was a trigger. Here was my trigger back here on the 5th. It was a nice V1, false breakout to the downside, reversal, also known as a V1. And you can see this has been a fantastic trade. I've been phasing all the way out. No profit targets today. This blue line up here is the 70 RSI, so that is my initial profit target. If we reject this 70 RSI, I'll go ahead and lock in profits. Conversely, to the downside, because we've moved so far away from my entry, more than 1 ATR, if we have a close below the previous day's low, that will also be my reason to exit out of this trade. But this is a great trade. It's a great example of a return to value, sideways movement, and then a V1 entry trigger, or a V2 entry trigger, V1 in this case. And this has moved up very, very nice. Looks like we have a dividend tomorrow as well. So if I end up staying in this trade, which it looks like I will be getting some dividends on the shares that I have remaining. But keep in mind, everybody, you don't just buy before dividends and get that money. It's not free money, right? Like if you have a 50-cent dividend, most likely the price is going to decline by 50 cents as well. So sometimes people think you can just buy before dividends and you just get a free dividend. Well, you don't. I mean, it's generally, like I said, if you get a 50-cent dividend, the price declines by 50 cents. So it's all the same. So anyway, this is looking good. Rejection of the 70 would be my initial profit target, or would be my profit target. Close below the previous day's low would be my trailing stop. All right, here we go with the famous SPY trade. My apologies to everyone who hears this every day, but in case we have some new viewers, I do want to point this out. But I do buy the SPY SPY ETF every day at the close of the day. I sell it first thing the next morning. Why would I do this? Well, this has nothing to do with technicals, support, resistance, anything like that. It has to do with the long-term back-tested study from 1993 by Lisanne Saunders, Appy Spoke Invest on Twitter. But with this approach, there's two options. Option number one, you could buy the SPY at the open each day, sell it at the close each day, right? So buy at the open, sell the close, buy the open, sell the close. If you did this every single day since 1993, for all your troubles, you would have returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, and buy the SPY at the close, instead of the open, if you buy it at the close and then sell it the next morning, so essentially you hold it overnight. If you did this every day, buy the close, sell the open, buy the close, sell the open, from 1993, you'd have returned a positive 634.2% return. So huge difference in buying in the morning, selling in the afternoon, or buying in the afternoon, selling the next morning. So this is what I do. It's been very profitable. I've been using it since February 26th. It's been a great approach so far. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That is true. That goes for any trading methodology. But I like this chart. It shows you that if you do have an edge in your trading approach, and you use that edge over the long term, how it can play out. The blue line is the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning. The orange line is the buy in the morning, sell in the afternoon. All the movement came in overnight moves. Actually, all the gains in the S&P 500 since 1993 have come from the after hours in the pre-market, not during the day. That's why it's difficult to be a day trader. You don't get any movement during the day. It's the overnight. So I really like this chart to show you long-term, if you have an edge, how it can play out. And I always suggest to people that they trade for the long term, not the short term, right? In between, you have ups and downs. It's just to be expected. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your approach or you as a trader. This is just random distribution of events, and this is how it works out. So with that being said, I did buy the SPY yesterday at the close at $319.50 and sold it this morning for $319.98. So made 48 cents per share just from the overnight hold. Yesterday we had a huge opening. We bought here on Friday and had this huge gap up. So I made an all-time high using this approach yesterday and had a profitable overnight trade here as well. So I made another all-time high using this approach. So pretty easy. This has resulted in about 22% of my yearly profits, just this one approach. So I really do like it, although there are ups and downs. In the month of May, I had 80% of my trades were negative, right? So it's not all, rainbows and butterflies, but this has done very well lately, and I'll just continue to use it. So I will be buying this again at the end of the day. All right, AT&T. So I did buy AT&T back here on the 10th of December, thanks to Evan. I don't usually have AT&T on my watch list, but he pointed this out, and it was a nice trade. It was a higher low V1. Here we closed below the 1 ATR channel, closed back in the channel, had a couple days down, had a false breakout to the downside and reversal with the V1. And you can see this has worked out very nicely so far. No profit targets today. It has moved more than 1 ATR away from my entry, so I will at this point start instituting some type of trailing stop, like a close below the previous day's low. So down a little bit today, down 7 cents today, not too bad. But anyway, so far very happy with this trade, and very happy that Evan pointed this out for me. All right, Walmart. No, Waste Management. I have WM and WMT, so I'm getting them confused. Thanks to Evan again for pointing this out to me. I did buy Walmart here back on the 13th. We had a nice confluence of signals going on here. One, The previous day we closed under the 200 day. The day that I bought it, it closed above the 200. That is good by itself. We also had a nice V2. Here's day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Day 3 closes above day 1's close. That is also good. Closed above 50 RSI, closed above all the major moving averages. Did have some support back here, and this V2 was a higher low V2. So I did buy it. It has moved up nicely. Did hit, I think I hit one profit target yesterday. I'm not sure, but I definitely hit 2 profit targets here today. Now, that being said, I think I'm going to exit this today at the end of the day, and I'll tell you why. See how we had the previous highs up here in this range? See how we had a false breakout to the upside and reversal? Do you see how we also rejected the 1 ATR channel? So I think I'm going to go ahead and just take this off. It was a nice 2-day trade, but it did not like these highs, got rejected, did not like the 1 ATR channel, went above, closed back below. I don't like that as well. Now it could continue just to move up, I mean, I could get out today and then to just keep rocketing on up, and so you never know, right? Or I could say I'm going to hold it, and then tomorrow it would take out the previous low, and I wish I'd have gone out. But just all in all, it rejected these highs over here. I don't like that. It rejected the 1 ATR channel. I don't like that. And, it looks, at least right now, it looks like it's closing in the bottom half of its bar. So this is called a bearish kangaroo tail, aka Dr. Alexander Eller. So I think I am going to go ahead and just take this off today. But this has been a nice trade, and I appreciate Evan for pointing this out. Okay, Walmart. Last trade. I did take Walmart back here on the 12th of December. It was a higher low V2. We also had a 520 crossover. We also took out this previous range. I like where it happened in the value zone. And then next day, MACD went positive. So this has been a nice trade. Did hit 2 profit targets on this as well. One at the very top today, 121.70. So I did get that. I saw that it got there, and that's where my profit target was, but I wasn't sure I got filled. But when I looked at my orders, I was glad to see I got filled. So anyway, 2 nice profit targets today. I guess what I should say on Walmart here is we were above the 1 ATR channel. We came back into the channel, sideways movement, sideways movement, sideways movement. And when we have a lot of sideways movement, oftentimes it leads to a breakout. I wasn't sure which way it was going to go, but my entry signal was clear, so I took it, and this has been nice. This is hanging above the 1 ATR channel, hasn't rejected any previous highs, so I will continue to hold this. And then quickly, all right, so I know Dirk and Kurt and Mount Doji took O yesterday. By the way, my charts were off yesterday. I was showing somebody earlier the difference between the moving averages with adjusting for dividends and not adjusting for dividends, and so I forgot to switch it back before the podcast, and so what I was looking at yesterday was this, and I didn't like how it rejected the 200 day, so I didn't take the position till after. I mean, I didn't take it at all, but after people were saying, hey, it doesn't look like it's over the 200, and so I saw that I did have an issue with the setting in my chart. So I would have taken that with you guys yesterday for sure, because it was under 30, over 30, V1, under the 200, over the 200, negative, under the third ATR channel, over the third ATR channel. I would have definitely taken that, but as luck would have it, it did work out that I didn't take it. So if I had taken it, I would definitely be out today. It looks like it's losing the 200 day and the 30 RSI. Alan has had a nice trade in PGTI. He took this higher low V1 back here in the value zone. This has worked out very, very nicely. So congratulations to Alan. A man Solo has had a nice trade here. V2, rejection of the third ATR channel, under 30, over 30. Really nice trades. Moved up nice, 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 nice. It may lose the 50 RSI today. If it was my trade and it lost 50 RSI, I'd probably take it off, but I'm not sure what a man Solo's approach is with that. FLT, Frank, we talked about that. And then I think that's it. And then at AAP, we talked about this earlier. Higher low V2, but it looks like it's rejected the 200-day so far. So for me, I would be keying off of that 200-day. Steve says Van Thorpe was almost a turtle. He did not make the last cut. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. I like that turtle trading story. Man Solo, like the guest article on the way to be a profitable trader. Oh, great. Great. Steve has good articles. Anthony, buddy, what's going on? I'm listening. Beaks, I owe you a call. Hi, all. Anthony's saying he owes Jesse a call. I told Anthony to call Jesse just to make sure his charts are all right, because Jesse's such a pro at Thinkorswim. But yeah, I watched that movie, Anthony. It was great. Dirk, hello all. Looks like I need to take a loss today. Yeah, on O. Yep. That one didn't work out, unfortunately. Questions for Greg. Do you take a hard stop, or do you close with the loss at the end of the day? My stop was 72.50 and now 71.90. Yeah, I mean, I do it at the end of the day, Dirk. You know, I have two types of stop. I have an end of day stop, which I just take my loss at the end of the day if it closes under whatever level I'm looking for. But I also do have a emergency stop that I will take regardless of when it happens, and that's 5% below my entry. That's my maximum stop. But yeah, I close at the end of the day. Frank says, for those who like trading in the first hour, check out RETA. Man Solo, TD has a nice confluence going on. Let's see. Yeah, it's a higher low V1, close above the 100-day moving average. Yeah, looks pretty good. All in all, do we know it's going to go up? No, we don't, but it does give a good risk to reward. Kurt, hey buddy, what's going on? Oh, PTON. This is nice. We moved back in the value zone. We had a lower high, but we did wash out the low, but I don't quite see the V2. I mean, I guess technically it's a V2 here. This didn't wash out this bar very much, which concerns me a little bit, but strong move. Kurt says, hey, Greg and all. Yeah, O didn't play out as expected. Oh, well, take the small loss on to the next. That's exactly right. Marathon, my RSI is at 60.90, so price solidly above it now. All right, good. Oh, interesting. So my RSI is 49.98. I'm using a 14 period. Hey, Alan, good to see you. We just talked about you. We just talked about your, your PGTI trade. Mount Doji's here. Hey, buddy, what's going on? Wayne is here. Good to see you. OLED. OLED. Well, it's strong. It's strong. I don't know how it backtests with the 520 crossover. Me personally, though, Wayne, I don't think I would buy it here because it is above the 1 ATR channel. But that's just me, right? We do have a MACD crossover. You know, closing above the 1 ATR channel in a way is good, but the way I look at it, it's a little overextended. So I generally don't buy above the 1 ATR channel unless I have a crossover. It looks like we had a crossover on OLED back here, but you know, let me know. I hope that helps. But me, you know, I'm just trying to be honest with you guys. Me personally, I don't think I would take this trade just because I feel like it's a little high. But you never know, right? So listen, Speaking of Steve Burns, I saw Steve posted this on actually on Facebook. He may have posted it on Twitter as well. But this is the time of the day where, you know, I like to look at Facebook. I like to look at Twitter. I like to look at, there's some really great channels out there like Steve. He spends a lot of time and effort posting memes and good trading words of wisdom and so forth. And I saw this and it really resonated with me because it's so true. So here you have two booths, right? The first one says comforting lies, holy grail, get rich quick. Then you have the other guy, unpleasant truths, trading edge, position sizing, psychology. I probably would also add trading education. This guy's having no business. The guy over here that has the get rich quick approach and the holy grail, look at all these people lined up over here. And this guy has no business. But of course, this is what you need to learn. Finding an edge, position sizing correctly, working on trading psychology, you know, getting educated on how to trade. But isn't that how it is sometimes? You know, everyone goes for the easy thing, the easy signals that they don't have to think about. They can just pay and people will tell them what to do, or there's some kind of holy grail or they're going to get rich quick. Everybody's lined up for that. But of course, the important booth, people don't want to learn about that. But that is why so many people lose money trading, because they don't spend time on this. So I thought that was pretty cool, Steve, and appreciate you sharing that. Hey, William, good to see you, buddy. I have been doing well. Hope you have too. Roy B. Hey, Roy. Appreciate you coming. When you sell your SPY trade, do you sell at market on the open? I do. When I wake up, I put a buy order at close, a market on close order to buy it, so I don't have to worry about buying it. It just triggers. And then in the evening time when I'm, you know, doing my numbers and putting in my limit orders on that SPY trade, I just, you know, sell however many shares of SPY I have, market, and it will sell first thing the next morning. Hope that helps, Roy. Steve says, in the trading group, someone photoshopped my head onto the unpleasant truth guy. Oh, really? Let's see. Let's take a look. Here, let's take a shot of that real quick. There we go. Steve's got no business over here. He's teaching the most important things like trading edge, position sizing, psychology, trader education. No business for Steve. Everybody wants the easy line over here. That's great. Thanks, Steve. All right, well, we better get to it, huh? Better get to it. So I'm going to go through these pretty quick so I have time to look at your others. But Apple, strong here, just too high. You know I need to pull back into value. Adobe, just too high. I need a dip before I can get interested. Advanced Micro Devices, same thing. It's over the 1 ATR channel. I need a dip at the very least. Amazon. Looks like we are going to close above the 200-day moving or the 250-day moving average. This is a good back-tested approach. I believe we may have also had a 550 crossover here. Yes. So that's two signals. That's two signals on Amazon there. So, you know, my initial stop will be a close below the 250-day moving average. You know, initial profit target probably right up into this range. So it offers good risk reward. So that looks good. Boeing, this is a tough one. We went under 30, over 30, and a V1. Wish we had a double bottom, divergences, this kind of a thing. We still have the third ATR channel here. So this is possible as well. Berkshire Hathaway, just too strong. I need to pull back into value. Beyond Meat does look pretty good here. I bought it here, phased out. After, when it was just doing nothing, I got out here. Was glad I got out yesterday, but now today, look at this. We have a V2, nice V2, rejection of the 1 ATR channel. MACD is still positive. Let's see how this looks intraday. You know, we had this big move up here. We are holding the 50% of the big move, so that is good. So this is also a potential for me as well. Caterpillar, just too high, need to pull back. The Dow, too high, need to pull back. Walt Disney did have a V2 yesterday, but we had a lower high. Need to wash out that lower low, so nothing there. Etsy, under the 1 ATR channel, back over. I need a couple days pullback, higher low V1. Facebook up a little today, but this big bar here concerns me. I'm not going to get involved with that. Gold, of course, we have. It's down a little bit today. We took the 520 crossover. Google, strong, but need to pull back into value. Goldman Sachs, Steve had a great trade here. He bought the 520 crossover. Didn't start out so great, but the last 4 days it's been pumping here. So I imagine Steve will be looking to see how this reacts around the 70 RSI. So nice trade, Steve. Home Depot, darn it. I was really patient waiting for a bounce off the 200, but I wanted it to go under and back over, or at the very least under 30 back over, and it didn't quite get there and took off without me. So at this point, we've moved back into the value zone. Now a couple days down, maybe I can get on board with the higher low V1 or V2. IBB finally going down here. Nothing there. Intel down a little bit. Kurt sold some puts, 52 puts. So we're at 57.25. I'm sure that's doing well for him. IWM need to pull back into value. Johnson & Johnson, very extended, need to pull back into value. Coca-Cola, the same, pull back into value. Lockheed Martin came into the value zone, closed below the value zone, now looking for some kind of V1, higher low V1 or V2, but nothing there yet. MasterCard, down now, very strong, just need to pull back into value and look for that dip buy. McDonald's, same, need to pull back into value. Altria, broken record, looks like we've tested previous highs here, need to pull back into value. Merck, pull back into value. Microsoft, need to pull back into value. Netflix, oh my gosh, look at this. Huge day today. We did have a 520 crossover here. That is a good pack tested approach, but I can't get involved here. We have the previous high over here. We're in the almost 63 RSI. It just wouldn't give me a good risk to reward ratio. All my risk all the way down here, and my reward is not that far up there. So I'm going to have to pass on Netflix. Nike, very, very strong, but again, need that pullback into the value zone before I can get involved. Philip Morris, of course we have. We bought this return to value at the V1. This has been a really nice trade. PayPal, looks like it's holding above the 200. It's good, just too high for me up into this range. Q's barely up today, but again, need to pull back into value. Silver, we might have a 520 EMA crossover in the next couple days, and if so, I will consider taking that, but not today. SPY, of course, we had our little overnight SPY trade. That worked out well. I will be buying that again at the end of the day. Bonds, been up and down all over the place. Nothing really on bonds. Tesla had this huge move up. I was really bummed I missed this trade. I mean, I missed it on purpose. It was a nice V2, but we had a gap, and I can't take V1s or V2s on gap. So I missed out on that, but that's how it goes. Twitter, need to pull back into value. Sideways movement, V1, V2. United Health Group, very, very strong, above the 1 ATR channel. Looks like it rejected the 3rd ATR channel. Need to pull back into value. Oil, very, very strong still. Boy, that that break over the 200 held, and it held nicely. So just too high for me to buy. VIX. It bounced off the 30 yesterday, closed back above. I actually just missed the trade at the end of the day, which looks like it might have been good because it is down 2 cents. I'll have to think about that one. Verizon had that move down. Now we're back up. Need to pull back into value. How's our Walmart doing? It's doing great. So I'm definitely going to keep Walmart. This has been a nice 3-day trade. Energy, I imagine, is up. Oh, not much. Too high, though. Financials, too high. Real estate had that V2 yesterday, but a lot of the real estate had this pullback today. Kind of a whipsaw. Got in, got out. Actually, I'd just like to see this go under the 200 and back over. Utilities, very, very strong. And healthcare. So we've got a few things here, or I've got a few things to consider. Amazon. This is definitely a for sure. I'm going to buy Amazon today. Half position because we're under the 200-day moving average. Boeing. Have to see if this closes over 30, but we do have an under 30 over 30, and we also have a V1. A little scary to buy here, I got to admit. Beyond Meat. And we came down, we basically tested this bottom. Looks like we had a, we have a V2 here today. We're at a 40.78. 50 RSI is going to be somewhere up in here. Stop would be halfway of the washout bar here. So let me just make sure this risk to reward makes sense. So tomorrow's 50 RSI would be approximately here. Stop would be about here. So yes, it does give a good risk to reward ratio. So I am gonna, looks like I will be buying Beyond Meat. I think I'm gonna let Boeing go. Boeing scares me. We have the third ATR channel up here, a negative third ATR. MACD's really negative. VIX, I think I'll just let that go. XLE, I think I'll just let that go. So it comes down to Amazon, Boeing, and Beyond Meat. And I feel good about Amazon. I feel good about Beyond Meat. Boeing, I'm a little concerned about. So let me take a look here at current positions first. So gold, 520 is still in place, down a little bit, but no problem. Philip Morris, down just a bit, but still fine. SPY, of course, going to be buying that at the end of the day. AT&T is rallying here at the end of the day a little bit. I mean, at least off of its low, so I will be keeping AT&T. I am going to get rid of Waste Management because it rejected the previous highs up here, rejected the -1 ATR channel. So I am going to go ahead and just lock in profits on Waste Management. And Walmart is looking fine. So I will be getting rid of Waste Management for sure to free up a little room. You're welcome, Roy. Clarence Beek says, Lemmings lined up for the get-rich-quick guru and pump and dump BS, removing money from the new and ill-informed. It's a very good way to put it. Yeah, it's transferring the money from the rookies to the veterans, really, right? Don't get caught up in get-rich-quick stuff, especially when it comes to trading. Learn the basics. Take the long view on trading, and I think you're going to do just fine. And it's important that you don't have to rely on someone for your signals too. It's very important, right? It's important you learn how to do it yourself. Very important. I'd like here, Mount Doji said, I'd like here if it was above 50. Yeah, let's see how, did that get above 50 already today? Got pretty close, Mount Doji. Got to 49.92. So it's, in the ballpark that it already tested it, and it looks like it rejected. And just plainly, it's just too high for me to buy. Remember, I like, from the bottom to the top of the green channel, 75% is about the maximum I want to go here. So I personally don't like that one that much. Frank says, nothing but bad news from BA. Yeah, I know. The Man Solo says, thoughts on PINC? Well, Man Solo, it's a V1, but we moved over the 1 ATR channel. We've come down into the channel, but see, there's no sideways movement here. I don't see any sideways movement. I'm on Solo. We may get a bounce, but when you have a down, 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 and then a move up, many times it moves up for a day or two and then fails again. You're going to get a more, not all the time, obviously, but it's more likely that you're going to get a sustained move up if you have some sideways movement, if you build a base. Like in construction, you have to build a strong foundation to be able to build high. You can't just have nothing foundation and expect to build high. Like Philip Morris, right? See all this sideways movement, right? Compared to PINC, where it's just down, down, down. So I personally would not take that trade, but let me know if you do. Bing He says, Greg, BA has a MACD bullish dividend with 21st of October. Let's see. Oh, a bullish divergence. Okay, kind of, but not great. This should be less than half of this, and the less the better. This is, I wouldn't say it's half. It's pretty deep, and more importantly, when you look at divergences, the best ones happen when they're within 30 days of each other. See how this is much more than 30 days away from each other. So I don't give that double bottom with the MACD bullish divergence as much credit because one, it was so long ago, and two, this should be half of this, and this to me looks more than half. And the maximum math, and this one actually looks more than half to me. So I don't think that I would consider this. Look at this right here at 30.01, 30.08, 30.01. How are we doing on time? All right. Yeah, Mount Doji. I mean, there's really no sideways movement, right? We were down and we were down. There's no sideways movement. I like this in the fact that was above the 1 ATR channel into the value zone, but I really, minimum of 2 days sideways movements. And, I've told you before, right, that sideways movements lead to big moves. We don't know which way, but sideways movements, like Philip Morris, do lead to big moves one way or the other. So, when you look at Callaway Golf, there's no sideways movement here whatsoever. All right, so Waste management, that's gonna sell at the close. That was a nice trade. Thanks to Evan for letting me know about that signal. Appreciate that. That's worked out nicely. Gold is fine. Philip Morris is fine. SPY, of course, that's gonna buy at the end of the day. AT&T is fine. Did move more than one ATR away from my entry, so I will be implementing a trailing stop now. Walmart's doing great. That Toronto trade does offer a good risk to reward, that's for sure. All right, so Amazon, Boeing is now under the 200, and Beyond Meat. So Amazon's under the 200, Beyond Meat's under the 200. And so I'm going to take half positions on both. 6 minutes. All right, I guess I better get to work. All right, here we go. Amazon, half a position. Beyond Meat, half a position. Whoa. Always make sure that you change symbols. I almost bought many hundreds of shares of Amazon when I was trying to buy Beyond Meat. That wouldn't have been good. Okay. So I've got enough positions at the moment, although we are waste management is going away here at the close. All right. Bing He says the quick huge fall and high volume yesterday for Boeing, followed by the bounce today, very tempting for me to take the trade. Yeah, I know it is tempting. I mean, you know, buy when everyone's selling, all that kind of stuff. I get it, and I wouldn't fault anybody for taking this trade if they do. But you know, you have a V1 here, under 30, over 30. But the thing is, it's not over 30 at the moment. So I'm not going to take it just because I have so many other positions. But if it were me, I wouldn't even consider taking it if it didn't close above the 30 RSI right now. TCS. Well, again, Mount Doji, you know what I'm going to say, right? There's no sideways movement. We closed above the 1 ATR channel. Down, down, bounce, right? You can't go, it's impossible to have sideways movements if you have down, down, bounce. So I'm not saying it couldn't be a profitable trade, you know, probably still gives you a decent risk to reward, although I don't like this 50 here, but you know, see the sideways movement here, Mount Doji? That's what I'm talking about. No sideways movement here. You know, when I first learned these, Mount Doji, my teacher, Kerry Lavorne, I did the same thing. What about this? What about that? He's like, Greg, you're going to find V1s, V2s all over the place. But there's good V1s, V1s and V2s and bad V1s, and it comes down to the context. And the context is, you know, the sideways movement, and of course not having larger than 1 ATR on your day one. So anyway, I hope that helps. Mountoshi says, I realized and tried to retract my comments. Yeah, you knew better, huh? You knew better. So let's take a look here. See what happened. All right, so Beyond Meat. We got Beyond Meat at 76.20. Amazon at $1,791.06, and SPY $319.57. All right, so I did get out of Waste Management. I think that was a really nice 2-day trade, and thanks to Evan. So we'll get out of Waste Management, and then we will put in Beyond Meat. Oops. Beyond Meat, all right. $76.20. All right, $76.20. Yeah, I like this. I mean, basically a test of a double bottom, a really nice V2, higher low V2. MACD is positive. Closed over the 10-day moving average, which it has not done in a long time, so that's good. So I'll be targeting the 50 RSI up here, and we'll see how it reacts around the 50 RSI. My stop is not going to be a close under 30. My stop will be a close below halfway of the washout bar. This is the washout bar. So if we close below that, it's roughly 50%, right? If we close below that, I'll go ahead and take my loss on this trade. And then Amazon. All right, what's happening? All right, Amazon 1791.06. $1791.06 is the entry on Amazon. And I took this because it closed over the 250 day, right? So it closed under the 250 day. That is my stop. Probably, you know, the place I'll be looking to take profits is somewhere up in this range, near the 200-day moving average and or the previous highs and or the third ATR channel. So, you know, risk from here to here, reward from there to there. It does offer a good risk to reward trade. Definitely closed below all, unfortunately. Sorry, guys. So those are the new trades. Amazon and Beyond Meat. Half positions each, by the way. And did Boeing close over 30? No, it did not. All right, so I did hit a yearly high again today in the account, so I'm very happy and grateful for that. It's nice when you get a couple of those in a row, so very thankful to that, and I hope you guys are doing that as well. So we shall see. We shall see what's happening here. So, hey, quickly before I get to the end, to the comments and questions, just want to put in my quick daily plug. Hope that's okay, but want to let everybody know that I do offer private coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had great success with my clients. I do have a one-on-one course, like I said, over Skype. It's 5 sessions, and then each session is somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. That's usually how it works out. It's pretty intensive. I teach you everything I've learned over the last 24 years as a full-time trader. I teach you everything I've learned from all my mentors and coaches along the way, everything I've developed. And I think you'll like the course. I think you'll really be able to put the market into some context. During each session, I teach the first part of the session. The second half, I ask you a lot of questions to make sure you're listening. We do a lot of chart study. We take a look at a lot of charts, price action. I have you break it down. I'm not breaking it down to you. You have to break it down to me. But when you're done with the course, I think you'll be pretty proficient and be able to taking a look at the market. And so, if you're interested in doing that, the course is $1,000. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but I promise you it is worth more than that. And I think you're going to get a lot of value out of this course. So if you're interested, reach out to me. My email is in the description of this video. You can also reach out to me on Twitter. If you do reach out to me, it would be to schedule a Skype call. It's a free Skype call. I just like to get to know the potential student, learn about their trading, what their challenge have been, what their goals are, and I will take that, put that into a lesson plan that I will teach you to hopefully achieve your goals. But also it's kind of an interview both ways. You can interview me about anything, but I like to know more about you just to make sure we're a good fit for each other, because it's pretty intense, and I just want to make sure that it's good for both of us. So again, you can reach out to me on Twitter. You can send me an email, and but if you're interested, let me know. We'll set up that free Skype call at the very least, and we can say hi. And then if you like today's podcast, if you find it valuable, I really would appreciate it if you'd hit the thumbs up button. It does help promote the channel, helps grow the channel. A lot of people out there seriously need some good, solid exposure to how to look at the market, and keep your losses small, let your winners run, look for support and resistance, all that kind of stuff. And I think if we could get them to this channel, it would definitely have a positive impact. So if you could hit the thumbs up button, it will help me, and it will help other people as well if we can get them to this channel. So I would appreciate that. So all right, let's take a look here. Okie doke. Evan says, I think AAP closed above 200, so I took a position. Oh, is that right? Okay. Yes, it did. Not exactly sure where your entry is. I imagine it's right here at the close. You can correct me if I'm wrong, if I had the wrong price there. But let's put Evan down for here. Evan M. All right. Good luck on that trade, Evan. Right? Of course, we never know what's going to happen, right? We know something's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but it is a higher low V2, did close over the 200-day, did reject the 100-day moving average, closed above the 50 RSI. MACD is positive. You could do a lot worse with that for sure. Alan says, still in PGTI and hit another profit. Very nice, Alan. Did hold above the 50 RSI. So, be mindful when it gets up here, that third ATR channel and that 200-day moving average confluence right there. Very likely you're going to run into resistance there. So make sure you have some kind of plan to, not give back all these profits, because this has been a really, really nice trade. Congratulations, bud. Dr. Jorgensen says, another good day, good hike. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I am actually teaching a one-on-one lesson tonight. I have somebody coming over to my house, very sharp lady, wants to get involved in the markets, and she's a friend of a friend. So I said, look, before you do, do me a favor, come over, we'll spend a couple hours, and I want to get her off on the right foot. So hopefully that will help her. Bing He says, Beyond Meat has the 20 EMA immediate resistance. Yeah, it's getting up there. It's definitely getting up there, but Binky, what I am going to do, when I take these trades, I'm aware of the 20-day moving average up here, but my initial profit target is the 50 RSI. But good eye. Yes, you are correct. About right there. So I will be looking to see. I mean, if tomorrow Beyond Meat got up there to the 50 RSI and rejected it, I would definitely go ahead and get out. But if it rejects the 20-day moving average, I'm not going to get out. I'm not going to start implementing any kind of trailing stop unless we move, larger than 1 ATR away from my entry, or it rejects the 50 RSI above me, or if it closes below halfway of the washout. Does that make sense, Bing He? David says, Greg, I exited CIB today after I believed it rejected the 70 RSI. I decided to hold it one more day yesterday, but I am out today. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, yeah, we talked about that yesterday, didn't we? Yeah, I remember that. So came very close to rejecting the 70, and then today, oh, we can tell today for sure if it did or not. Yeah, it did reject the 70 today, gamer. So definitely that, the way that I trade, that is where I would take it off. But that for sure rejected the 70. So nice trade. Very nice trade. Dirk says, what is your stop and target for Beyond Meat? Okay. So my initial profit target, Dirk, is going to be the 50 RSI, which for tomorrow will be $80.60. I took this trade because of this higher low V2. Here's day 1, here's day 2, here's day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1, day 3 closes above. So that was my entry. When I take a V1 or a V2, my initial profit or my initial stop is going to be a close, not intraday, but a close below halfway of the washout bar. This is the washout bar, washed out the previous day. So halfway here. So if I get a close under 73.30 tomorrow, that would be my initial stop. If it moves up more than 1 ATR from my entry, I will then institute a trailing stop, like a close below the previous day's low. But as is right now, just to answer your question, my initial stop here is at 33.30 and my initial profit target is at 80.60. Now, if we go zooming up and close above the 50, doesn't mean because I hit my profit target, I get out. It's just my initial area. If we got up to the 50 RSI and then closed below it at the end of the day, I would get out. If we got up and closed above the 50, then I would hold it. But my ultimate profit target on this particular trade, probably right here at the third ATR channel. So the way that I phase out, if it moved all the way up to here, by the time it got up here, I would be out of share. So initial profit target, ultimate profit target, initial stop loss. Does that make sense? Oh, the new awning's sweet, Evan. The new awning is sweet. Man, I'll tell you what, you really don't appreciate having an awning until it's gone. So it's nice. It's a little bit different material. Instead of 3 posts, they put 6 posts. And so it definitely should be a lot stronger. 3 in front, 3 in the back. So yeah, it's sweet. I'll have to take a picture and show you, Evan. Thanks for asking, bud. Bing He says, I read before that 20 EMA is a critical EMA. It is. When using mean reversion strategy, 20 EMA is a barrier to take note. Yes, it's true. When signals conflict, it is usually difficult to decide which one is more important. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Listen, Bing He, it's not, it just comes down to what your plan was when you started the trade. My plan doesn't mean it's the right plan. My plan, initial profit target, the 50 RSI, initial stop, halfway the washout bar. If your plan is, if it rejects the 20 EMA, that's good as well, right? It's just, I think it's important to decide what your approach is, decide what your plan is before you start, and then just follow through with it. But if your plan was to reject the 20 EMA, that's fine as well. If you took the trade and it rejects the 20 EMA, I don't get out, you do, and it might go down and I might still be in it. But you're right, 100%. I mean, the 20 EMA is mean reversion. It is a very important. I mean, look up here. Look where it rejected the 20 EMA, and that was it. So you're 100% right. But in the context of this chart, I like the basically the double bottom here. I like the trigger. I like the move over the 10-day moving average. So we'll just have to play it out. Let's look at the weekly. Well, the weekly is moving sideways, which is good, and we're down here at the third ATR channel on the weekly. So I like it here. You remember I got in here, right? Got out some here, got out some here, and then I just decided to get out a couple days ago because it wasn't doing anything. But this looks like it's doing something now, right? We had a lot of volume. We had this V2 double bottom. MACD is positive. So see, the thing is having a profit target of from here to here to the 20 EMA doesn't seem like much of a profit target, right? So, but I hope that makes sense. But you are correct. You are correct, Bing He, that the 20 EMA definitely is an important moving average. You're welcome, Dirk. So did anybody else take any positions today then? So I had TD up here. I don't know if anybody took that. Alan is still in PGTI. Aman Solo is still in Marathon Petroleum. Might want to point out here, Bing He, just as another example though, see how a couple days ago Marathon Petroleum rejected the 20 EMA and then came right back. So it works both ways. So I think Aman Solo still has that. FLT, Frank got out of FLT for a small gain, I believe. And then Evan took AAP. And Evan, if you're still listening, what is your stop loss on AAP? So gold down 3 cents. You guys remember the last 520 crossovers I've taken on gold have gone immediately against me. So it is encouraging to show that we're not getting a whipsaw down, that it's holding. And holding pretty strong into this strong market. Philip Morris, if we get a close below today's low, I will lock that in. Or if we move higher tomorrow and reject that 70 RSI, I will lock that profit in. But that's been a sweet trade. AT&T, if we get a close below the previous day's low, that I will lock that in as well. Of course, Beyond Meat we talked about. Walmart, 2 profit targets today. Glad for that. And then Waste Management, that was a nice trade. So appreciate Evan turning me on to that. This week I've had more trades from your guys' suggestions than this entire year together. And the reason why is, the watch list that I watch, everything is so high, and you guys have been able to share some good setups with me. So I really do appreciate that. Like United Airlines. 4 or 5 days ago, took the trade here with the under 30, over 30, under the 250, over the 250, under the 200, over the 200, and a V1, and had hit 4 profit targets the very next day, and that was thanks to Evan. And then I did get out. I was glad, about even, and then it was up nice again today. So I appreciate that, guys. Evan says, I'm probably going to get out if it closes below 50 RSI or 200-day moving average. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, here was the washout bar, but that's kind of a big move down here from a risk to reward standpoint. And, you know, buying right above the 200-day is nice. If it closes below the 200 or below the 50, you know, you're out for a small loss. Let's look at the weekly on this chart. Sideways, 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 down, hold. Weekly's not bad. It's in the value zone. Let's look at the monthly. I mean, I like the weekly. I like the weekly that we're in the value zone on the weekly, right? Oh, sorry, Evan. I think that was a man solo. Apologize. Yeah, man solo turned me on to UAL. Yep. Thanks, Bing He. Evan says, should be a quick trade one way or the other. Yep, that's true. But the main thing is it's a good risk to reward. You have the 200 support underneath you. You have the MACD positive. You have the 50 RSI underneath you. We had a false breakout to the downside yesterday and quick reversal. So who knows? We'll see what happens. Yeah, UAL was a man solo. Man Solo's had some freaking awesome trades lately. Holy smokes. He took this one right here. I believe it was here. Up, 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 up. He got out here, which was a fantastic trade. I think it was 10%. Then it was down, 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 down. And then another really rally up here. So all right. So Amazon's down slightly after hours. Beyond Meat's down slightly after hours. Gold is up a little bit after hours. Philip Morris is... Philip Morris is down 16% after hours. That's not correct. That's not correct. It's a little scary though. No, the bid and the ask are right there. But remember, it's ex-dividend, right? So we do get that dividend on Philip Morris tomorrow. So tomorrow, look, we're at 85.95. You'll notice tomorrow the price will be lower, even though it looks like it hadn't moved, because the dividend will basically come out of the price. SPY is down a bit after hours. AT&T is up a bit. VIX is up a bit, and Walmart's down a little bit. Gamer says, does somebody know in Schwab how to put the RSI line in the price chart? You mean instead of its own pane? Is that what you mean, Dave? I imagine, I guess you just have to go into the settings of that indicator and see if you're able to move it up into a different pane. You know, I found that Schwab is really good though, Dave. Like if you call them and they have I'm not sure if are you using Street Smart Edge for Schwab? Bing He says, TRHC, which I missed last Friday and yesterday was skipped. Today went up again. Oh no. TRHC. Yeah, that's the one you missed here, wasn't it? Being he with that under 30 or bounced at the 30 in the V1. Darn it. Dang it. Shoot. Now this one really is a double bottom with the bullish divergence. Here's the low with the deep bars. Here we make a lower low. See how this is less than half of this and it happened within about 30 days? Yeah, that was a good setup. That was a good setup, Bing He. You can see here, though, it did reject the 20-day EMA. So if I'd have taken this trade, I would be targeting the 50 RSI. So it may not get to the 50, right? Whereas if you had taken it, maybe you would have gotten out here with the rejection of the 20. Evans, is that always the case that the dividend drops price? Yeah, almost always. Almost always. You know, think about it. That if it didn't, then you could just go and buy any stock right before the dividend the next day and you'd get it. Yeah, it doesn't work that way, but almost always the price will drop in the amount of the dividend. As a matter of fact, here on Trade Navigator, it just figures it in. Whatever the dividend is after this updates at the end of the day, if it was a 50-cent dividend, the price would open up at 41.24 on TRHC, for example. So if it was a 50-cent dividend, after it updates, this would now show 41.24. It would take exactly the dividend and take it off of the price. Frank says, the problem with great markets is staying David Banner when the Hulk wants to break out. That's true, Frank. You have to keep that inner Hulk tamed. You have to stay David Banner. And, you know, along these same lines here, the higher position size you take, the more the Hulk's going to come out. Man, if I had the Hulk come out of me, oh my gosh. Especially when I was younger in my 20s. Oh my gosh. I was so competitive and battling and battling and battling. And most of the time I won. But in those situations, guys, you're eventually going to run into the mother of all trades where no matter what you do, it's going to go one way and it can really wipe you out. I mean, literally, that's one of the reasons why I started this channel, because I don't want that to happen to people. It's better off just taking that little loss, right? It stings, but then you'll forget about it. You know, I remember back to the days where I just had huge position sizes, huge, and they would go down week after week after week. I mean, it was soul crushing. I mean, what I would have given to just take that first easy, stupid loss. Oh my gosh, right? But anyway, back to what Frank says. Don't let that Hulk come out. And the way not to do that is diversify your portfolio, take proper position sizes, then the Hulk will stay in there and you can have the nice Dave Banner. Gamer Squad, yes, SSE? Or is that yes? Okay, I don't have an SSE, so that must be yes. Evan says makes sense. That's right. How does DG look? I didn't notice it until after market. I'll tell you what, Evan. Let's flip the tables around here. How does it look to you? Can you break this chart down for me? Let's get a sense of how you can break this chart down if you're willing. If you're not a problem, but you know, why don't you try to break this chart down for me? This is Dollar General. All right, I'm going to give Evan a few more minutes in case he left. All right, well, maybe Evan split. It's okay. I mean, we did close below the 1 ATR channel. We have moved nicely sidewards. This is good. We did have a V2 here today. Here is day 1. Here is day 2. Here is day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. Is it by a quarter of an ATR? Well, here's 1. Here's a half. Here's a quarter. Oh, Evan says, well, there are good and bad things. Good that it tested the 100 and is a V2, and good that the MACD bars aren't too deep, but 45 RSI is close to 50. Very good, my friend. Excellent, excellent. Now, you are correct that it is close to 50. But it did have a V2, a higher low V2 back into the value zone. The 50 RSI is probably here. Your stop on the trade would be here. If today it had already rejected the 50 and come back down, I think I would pass on the trade. But if you have a good V1, V2, good context, and it hasn't tested the 50, I actually don't mind taking it and seeing if it, and then if the next day it does reject the 50, I would immediately get out. But if it closes above the 50, then I have it underneath me. But it's okay. The only thing that concerns me is this washout's not all that great from here to here. But it did reject the upward sloping 100-day moving average. Let's look at the weekly. All right, so on the weekly, you can see, we discussed this with Bing He, but if you look at it in a different time frame, we're above the 1 ATR channel. We've come back into the value zone. Now we've held for 2 days, right? Like if I was trading this on the weekly and next week went down and then back up, I would definitely take this. So the weekly looks pretty good. The weekly is holding this 20 EMA. So on the daily, that's why I like to look at 2 time frames to see if there's some kind of important support on the weekly. But on the daily, it's not bad. I mean, obviously I would like better if the MACD had crossed over. If we go up tomorrow though, and it closed above the 50 RSI, that would be good. But if we had the MACD crossover come in, most likely we'd have another group of buyers. Remember, I look at all these indicators as groups of buyers. I guarantee you there are some people that will wait to buy Dollar General until it closes over this MACD crossover. So that might give it an extra nice little boost. So tell you what, let's put that one on the list. And we'll put Evan demo trade so we know it's not a real trade. And we'll see how this one works out. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. I like the weekly. I like the weekly that it's holding the 20 EMA. It's not bad. A lot of worse trades that you could take, and the risk to rewards not as great as I'd like it, but we'll see what happens. But nice job, Evan. Really good. Evan says, I'm a slow typer. No problem. Evan says, I really like the sideways movement though. 100%. Sideways movement's important because it's showing that there's some consolidation. It's showing that even though the rallies are being sold, the dips are being bought. This will eventually break out one way or the other for sure. But good analysis, Evan. Very good. Okay, well, I'm running past my time a little bit, so let me say goodbye to everybody. Evan, thank you, sir. Good seeing you. Good analysis. Appreciate you coming. Frank, thank you so much. Thanks for the fun for the fun inputs and sayings that you have. You're great with those, and I appreciate you being here. Gamer Squad, good to see you, my friend. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thanks for coming, as always. Bing He, thank you, sir. Hope you have a good rest of your day in Singapore. Thanks for coming by. Dirk, good to see you. Appreciate you coming by. Let me know if there's any questions you have that I could help you with. Dr. Jorgensen, good seeing you. I will talk to you later. And Alan, nice seeing you. Appreciate you coming, and we'll be watching PGTI. I'm glad you hit another profit target, but thanks for coming. Appreciate it. And Mount Doji, good seeing you, bud. Hope to see you soon. And Mount Solo, thanks for coming. It's always nice to see you. You've had some really great trades lately. Really proud of you. Steve Burns, thank you, bud. Appreciate that. Thanks for the nice post there on Facebook, and that's fun that they put your picture on there. But that is so true, that meme that you had. Mr. Clarence Beeks, thanks, Jesse. Appreciate you coming by. Hope to see you again soon. Let me know if there's anything I can help you with. Roy B, thank you for coming by. It's nice to have you here every time you come by, and hope that helped on the SPY trade. Yep, I do just sell that at the market. Then William in Hawaii, hope you're doing well. Say hello to Cooper. Thanks for coming. Wayne K, nice to see you again, sir, and hope to see you again. Kurt, good seeing you, bud. Yep, sorry about your O trade. We can't win them all, right? But be patient, wait for the good setups, take the long view, and they will play out over time, I promise. Anthony, good seeing you, my friend, and thanks for getting me on to watching Trading Places again. That movie was great. Marco, thank you, sir. Hope you have a nice evening in Europe. Let me know if I can help you with anything, and we'll see how that Amazon trade goes, right? And Joshua Kaufman, always nice to see Joshua. Appreciate you coming by. And let's see. And Christopher Hitchin. And JT, nice seeing you, JT, and nice seeing you, Christopher. Hope you both have a good rest of your day. So thanks again for coming. Hope this is helping you. Go out and do something nice for somebody today, all right? Please, just a little something, a little wave, a little say hello, a little hold the door open, a little something. It's going to be good for you, and it really might make their day in ways that you can't imagine. Speaking of doing something nice, make sure if you haven't, hit the thumbs up button for me today on the way out. I would appreciate it. All right. So good day today, yearly high in the equity today. So I'm very grateful for that. And I am going to go out and hike, and then I'm going to teach a nice lady this evening about some trading and more long-term investing. So hope to see you tomorrow. Be safe. Have a good rest of your day, and do something nice. Okay. We'll see you later. Bye now.
U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation, and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.